Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Drunken Under Quarantine show presented to you by Wool and Milk Comedy Club. We're back at episode 26. We've made it half a year. Holy shit. And do we have a great show for you guys? We got a pile full of guests. Of course, as always, GW is here, and as most of the time, Colin is here. And we've got three guests tonight, celebrating huge. Kevin McTaggart will be on, Mr. Pierre Vachon, and Ryan Kenyon. It's going to be a hell of a show. We got some crazy topics we're going to talk about. Tonight we're going to talk about stand-up comedy. We're going to share some road stories because we all miss the road so much. We're going to talk about improvements in live stream technology because I am coming at you from a new mic. And we're going to ask the panel how everybody's doing in Corona time. And what the fuck are you doing here?
Hickory? I'm not sure what just happened. It looked like someone just gagged and dragged Hickory off camera. I don't know what to do, so I'm going to do my set. Just got back from my sister's place. She has a 2.5-year-old, her and her partner, and it's funny because you can tell how parenting changes, like as your kids get older. You know, like when kids start asking why, parents will explain everything to them. You know, they're like, "I'm gonna go in the kitchen now." It's like, why? It's like, well, because I'm gonna cook dinner, you know. Or then you'll ask them, you know, you're gonna have to go to the bathroom now, and they'd be like, why? And then at a certain point, you stop answering the question, and people would just be like, the kid will be like, why? And parents start being like, because I said so. And it's I'm not sure what point that switches from the explanation is because you're 2.5 years old and I'm telling you what to do. That's why. Right? Like to congratulate War with Grandpa. I'm sure all of you know it's #1 comedy. You guys all know that. It's the #1 comedy in theaters. Yeah, well, they're bragging about it. It's really not much to brag about when you're the only comedy in theaters.
True.
You are the comedy in one of the 11 movie theaters still open in this country. It's the worst time to be releasing movies right now. I went to the movies this past weekend. Actually, I went to see it in an IMAX theater, 500 seats. It was myself and 4 other people. About 5 people at a 500-person theater. So I don't know how they're doing that. You know, I only bought 1 bag of popcorn and a Sprite. Doesn't seem I would understand if it was one of those things where you're yeah, I saw the movie and then I had 5 old fashions and a filet mignon or something. Numbers are a little low. I love watching Elon Musk talk. Does anybody ever watch Elon Musk just talk in interviews? It's you can see him in his head going all right, Elon, try to talk like a normal moron would. You can see he's like a cyborg who has to reroute his programming to try to explain something to someone. They'll be like, so Elon, tell us about, you know, the specs of the car. He's like, well, first off, the car's going to be very, very fast. It's going to be very fast. And in terms of the electric is really stellar. It's a stellar electric. And it's good. I am the opposite of that. I have to try to sound intelligent. I don't have to try to make myself sound dumb. Kind of have the opposite problem. And it's hard because with spelling and things like that, I'm dyslexic, you know? And so it's very difficult for me to spell and stuff like that. I don't have so much problems with reading, but spelling and searching for words is a hard thing for me. And people make fun of that, you know, people always love to make fun of someone who can't spell. You know, they're like, you can't spell. Like you're not a good speller. It's like, yeah, I'm handicapped. It'd be like making fun of someone in a wheelchair and being like, why didn't you run a mile in 10 minutes? I think you when you talk and make fun of me spelling, you sound like that asshole. I do. I don't really watch too much sports, but I am finding it amusing trying to watch like baseball and football. And I realized the other day, like sports have like the most bizarre branded like sponsorship that you have. Like the sponsorships make like virtually no sense to like what they're talking about. You know, you'll be watching like a baseball game, and the guy doing the commentary or announcer, whatever you want to call him, will be like, and up next is Tony Little. Tony Little is batting a .383 this year. He's of course coming out of Cleveland, and this is his fourth year here playing for the Rays. And then they'll just go off and they'll be like, and today's game is brought to you in part by Bud Light. Stay thirsty, stay drunk. Bud Light. And then they'll just go right back to the game. That's going to be a swing and a miss for Tony Little. Okay, you know. And brought to you by Budweiser. Get out there and drink a Bud. Budweiser ale. It's just, it's really just a baseball game's one long, never-ending beer commercial. And I just think that the general thing, I'm glad to see a movie because there hasn't been any. It's my first time seeing a movie in 8 months. And, you know, the whole thing with like on a global stage, you know, it bums me out that, you know, we are in many ways, it's like one of those things where when you know you can't do something, it almost makes it worse, makes you want to do it more. And like the thought that we're not allowed to travel right now, like really bugs me. But I think it's funny that like if you were to tell Americans at any other point in history other than this like debacle that we've gone, you could be like, listen, you know, for the next year and a half, maybe 2 years, you're not going to be able to travel. You're not going to be able to leave the country. Most Americans would be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to have to go to the movies a lot, see a lot of concerts, go to a lot of plays. Okay, you're not going to be able to do that either. Like, you have got to be shitting me. So, and then like these guys' brilliant idea is to like scale back production at like Netflix and see if like everyone doesn't lose their mind. So that's kind of how I'm feeling about things. Still no sign from Hickory. I'm not seeing him here on my monitor. GW, how you doing? Any thoughts? What's going on?
Hey, I got thoughts, and they're multiplying, and I'm losing control. I can't remember the rest of that song, but you know, if I did, that'd be fucking amazing. Because here, stop staring at my tits. Actually, no, go ahead, Sarah. I put this shirt on earlier, and like I wanted to say like it shrunk on me. So like not only like when I stand up, like you get the underbelly, like that, but the curve in the R makes my tits look so huge. I'm more cow than man. That's my thought. Just call me Manitor. No, speaking of my tits, somebody grabbed my tits so hard this past weekend. Like it felt like a mammogram. Like, and women are like, how do you know what a mammogram feels like? I've heard you bitch and moan about it enough. Where they literally took my tits, squeezed them, and pulled like a paper towel. And what do you say to somebody who does that to you, other than, "Ow, that fucking hurt, dick"? Like I want to be like, how would you like if I pulled your tits like that? and then I'm like, if I do that, I'm going to jail. That's the sad part. They're gonna be like, oh, clearly he's the aggressor here. My dog's a dick. Yeah. So I went outside to smoke a cigarette, thinking that everything was fine. I came in and I looked at the couch and he wasn't there anymore. And I wondered where. I looked around, and then I saw him face deep into a bag of trash. Which there's nothing worse. There's no worse feeling than seeing a dog just go into town in a trash can, because everything that you throw in there suddenly like pops in your head, like used condoms, tampons, those like weird like maxi pads that you get with the meat purchases. Like, I mean, that shit's pretty fucking gross. And fortunately for him, he only found a piece of pizza which he ate. Unfortunately for me, it was a buffalo chicken piece of pizza. So I know that coming up tonight, his ass is going to be burning on fire and just shitting everywhere. Like it's going to be like the Villaggio Hotel, just shooting. My other one was going to be like Spider-Man just shooting, but his web doesn't come out of his asshole, which he should. like Spider-Man, let's be realistic. He should have a little hole right above his ass crack where he swings from, not this wrist shit. I've been fighting with the Department of Labor lately, which, by the way, this whole COVID thing sucks. Let me just start with that. Nobody's answering phone lines anymore. You have to leave messages, and I finally like yelled at a guy, which takes a lot for me. Like I'm very easygoing when things happen, but this guy pissed me off, and my final words to him was, "You were extremely unhelpful. Thank you very much." And I almost hung up on him, and I didn't, which in hindsight is really the pussy move. I think it would have definitely been a little better if I just hung up and been like, there. Now I have to wait on hold again for another 20 minutes just so someone talks to me. So yeah, that's all I have. Which isn't a lot, but that's okay. I do have news that Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming will not be with us tonight. But yeah, but we do have a replacement. Let's turn it over to Kyle Hickory.
Holy fucking shit, everybody! What's going on?
Delicious.
Hey! VCO Takeover. Glad we got rid of that drunk asshole and got this drunk asshole instead. Those who missed my intro, my name's Kyle Hickory, which means I don't have a family, I have a genus. It consists of 16 to 17 species of deciduous hardwood with pinnately compound leaves and giant fucking nuts. Been a while since I've done this. Go over a few things. I've been thinking about losing weight lately. And I know it's not that like I want to be healthier or like I want to live to, see my niece grow up or that I'm about to bail on my wife. It's because of fat shaming. I know, which is sad. And it's mostly because when I fat shame people now, the words don't fucking stick. And you're like, hey man, you should park a little farther away. And they look at you and they're like, you should too, you fat bitch. Doesn't really, get to the point. Because it's been weird. The US lately, we've had this movement where we're like almost at the point where we're going to start having like a fat pride movement going on. And I've been thinking about it. And you guys want to know the best part about fat pride is that there's never going to be a 5K. There's never going to be a fun run. Most likely, a Fat Pride March would be counterintuitive because they would be thinner by the time they left. Another thing I've been noticing is a lot of people wanting to call everything superfoods lately. I saw turmeric pasta today, as if somehow magically turmeric is going to make those carb calories disappear. It's bad. It's gotten to the point where they're like, this is an avocado. It's superfood. It's like, no, it's just food that doesn't suck. It's a lot like calling water that didn't come from a drainage ditch super water. And which makes me think that somewhere the same argument's being had by these rich assholes about blow, right? Like somewhere this guy is like, you know, this cheap Nicaraguan blow really fucked up my sinuses and just didn't go. But now that I have this single source, fair trade, pure organic grown Colombian shit, my sinuses have never been more open. Which is just a sign that we're getting soft in America. And nothing made that more apparent than last weekend. We had a holiday, which we now like to refer to Indigenous Peoples Day. Glad we changed that. I was really upset about it. But the woke progressive super warrior that I am, slipped up the other weekend, and I was like, hey man, happy Columbus Day weekend. And this guy looked at me and he's like, you can't say that. And I was like, why not? I'm just trying to congratulate you on your 3-day weekend, prick. And he's like, well, you can't say that. Columbus was a conquering Spaniard. And I looked at him and I was like, Columbus was an Italian who worked for the Spanish. Maybe you should get your fucking facts straight before you describe his credentials, okay? And that's pretty much all I'm going to say. We got a fun show. I'm going to lead it on to our next entertainer. Welcoming to the stage another VCO original and the, I believe, 2-time Thunderdome champion and still the reigning hardcore comedy champion of Vermont, turning a spotlight stage over to Mr. Kevin McTaggart.
All right. Couple things here. It's not the Vermont hardcore comedy champion. It's the hardcore comedy champion. Get your fucking facts straight. And secondly, before I was going on, I was eating my sub from Subway, and once I finished, I saw GW lifting his shirt. So now I've puked my sandwich into the garbage. So thanks for that. Thanks so much for that. So fucking great. Oh, for fuck's sake. I think I've noticed that COVID has finally started affecting me because I have no problem wearing socks and sandals in public now. I used to hate those people, but I get it. Now I get it. Like there's no point to like even caring about how you look now, you know? And yeah, and that's, yeah. Like people are gonna, I think also with COVID, people are gonna have to keep wearing face masks after the pandemic because they're so fucking ugly. They should have been wearing masks before the pandemic, I think. We can certainly agree on that. That's for sure. Let's see what else is pissing me off today. Well, I like listening to sports radio for the most part. I know mentioning sports in Vermont is fucking stupid, but I don't care. But like one thing I hate about listening to sports radio is when they say something like, hey, let's go to the Callers. Nobody gives a shit about the Callers. First of all, when you go to the Callers, it's hit or miss. And usually it's miss. by like a lot. Because these people are either drunk or asleep at the time, because they're on hold for some of these shows. It depends, for like hours at a time, which makes no sense. We're in the age of social media now. Why don't you just like send a message, a tweet in, or a text or some shit like that? Why are you on hold for hours at a time to give your opinion on sports, an opinion which probably sucks anyway? Like one show I've started listening to is the Busted Open radio show on Sirius XM, and it's a wrestling radio show. I don't know if anybody here's heard of it, but I like listening to the show for the most part. But then there's the part when they say, "Hey, let's hear what the nation has to say," and I'm like, "Nope, not me," and I changed the channel. It's tough to change the channel in the car though while you're driving down the highway. Like, I think one time I heard them talking. They were talking last week about the WWE draft, which is another stupid topic for another time. But anyway, it's just what they were talking about, and they're like, "Hey, let's get to the callers to see what they have to say." And like, "Oh yeah, if I had the first pick, I'd go with Adam Cole." And I'm like, he's not even on the list of wrestlers to pick. Not even on the list. There are rules that they've established here, and this guy stayed on the phone for hours at a time to give that take. If you're going to be on for hours at a time, at least know what you're talking about. Educate yourself. It's pissing me off today. I'm trying to be more honest with how I feel about things. And this may be controversial, but as a stand-up comedian, I have to say that I hate puns. I feel like every pun that's been said or will ever be said was written 50 years ago. I feel like if you only do puns on stage, you're like the least creative piece of shit that ever existed. I just stupid. It just makes no fucking sense. Oh my god! And people who laugh at puns, I feel like you're just laughing at puns just because that's what they make you do. They make you fucking laugh, which is stupid. I'll be in a room sometimes at an open mic, and there'll be comedians just doing puns, and people are laughing their ass off, and I'm like, why? Are you just trying to be supportive? Is that what you're trying to do? I'm never going to Burlington again, that's for sure. Fuckers. Oh god. Yeah, no, one time I heard a comic talk about puns on stage, because of course. And he said, "I like puns because they're happy and joyous." And that's when I realized I hate puns because they're happy and joyous. Fucking shit. All right. Well, I feel better now. I'm getting that off my chest. We should probably move on to the next comedian who has no idea who the fuck he is, but we'll figure it out hopefully by the introduction. He's my favorite New York Jets fan.
Yeah.
Ahead of Gary Vaynerchuk. He's the 2018 Seven Daisies comedy champion.
It's irrelevant because that's a racist publication now. We can't.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, then never mind. I won't mention
I'm
that.
sorry.
I'm sorry too. Here's my interview.
Hey!
Hey!
Too delicious. Give it one of those.
Too delicious.
Oh man, 2020 is weird, right? Yeah, so I'm up in Burlington, where all the puns are, and
assholes.
Burlington's coming together. We're doing all right up here. Right before the pandemic happened, I remember there was like a pipe burst on Main Street, and it was like a big deal because all of the town water supply was tainted, and there was like dirty water going around everywhere, and everyone was freaking out, not knowing what was, gonna happen and how they were gonna get their water. And it was like, oh, like you're all worried about like drinking dirty water? Like nobody in this town's ever had a bottle of Dasani before. Like shut the fuck up. You'll be fine. Stupid. But I've been taking some time to work on some hobbies and do some cooking at home, and everything that I've been cooking has been farm to table. Cumberland farm to table, but so I've got a nice Takis casserole recipe that I like to share with you guys here later. But yeah, oh man, 2020 is so weird. Like I was watching porn the other day, and right before the video came on, I had to take one of those captcha tests to see if I was a robot or not. Like, what kind of robots are watching porn now? Like, what is going on here? Like, I want to know what kind of robot-on-robot, interracial robot porn is out there, and I need to find that. But seriously, that is out of control. I wanted to share this really interesting story. This is a true story. Happened years and years ago. I dated this girl, and it was my friend's birthday. And my friend had another buddy over who happened to have been a cocaine dealer. And, it was his birthday. It was, it was a gift for him. And they spent the night. And the next morning, like, I noticed, like, the girl I was dating, she went out and she left early to claim she went to go buy a present for my buddy whose birthday it was. And the friend who was the cocaine dealer, he woke up and he realized that all his money was gone. And I like instantly assumed, I was like, did you fucking steal money from a cocaine dealer? Buy a birthday present? And of all fucking things, she bought a Steven Seagal DVD for my friend for his birthday. And I was like, well, how fucking ironic you bought a Steven Seagal DVD, because you and I now are on deadly ground, because you and I are now marked for death. You don't understand. We are under siege now. And right now there is a bigger, more angry cocaine dealer out for justice. Now it's time to pack up all of our stuff and get on the road, because the time now is half past dead. And I'm going to make the executive decision to go somewhere and hide out. No, we can't call the cops because we are not above the law. Okay? You don't understand. So stupid. But yeah, we had to break up shortly after that. And don't get me wrong, there were some exit wounds. But we became friends, later on down the road, and we did eventually end up hooking up because there was a little fire down below, if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's all I got. I just wanted to share that quick story. I thought that was a little rib tickler. So I think right now I'm gonna pass it off to the one, the only, the commissioner of Comedy Thunderdome, Mr. Pierre the Beast Vachon.
What's up? Oh shit, I forgot to take my wig off from OnlyFans. Hold on. All right, there we go. What's up, everybody? Thank you, Ryan, and welcome Kyle, not Hickory, the Drunken Underwhelming, Colin and GW and Kevin. We're all here. VCO back together. So random thing that just literally fucking happened while you guys were all on. If you guys noticed me throw something while I was sitting here, I don't know if you saw off the camera. I have a mouse problem at my house currently. Like, I live in a little fucking hobbit house. Like, my head hits the ceilings legit. It's a weird, like, little tiny space. Like, the ceiling's only like a foot above me right now, and I'm sitting. It's like Gandalf in Lord of the Rings when he goes into the hobbit houses. That's what my home is like. But they've got a lot of mice here, and they've become really fucking ballsy. And literally, while you guys were talking, one walked out into the middle of the living room and just looked at me and got up on its hind legs and walked back out. Like, he was like, oh, what's up? Good to see you. And then he walked out. I bought some of that shitty, like, I was trying to be environmentally conscious, and I bought some of that mouse poison that is supposed to be, like, safe for livestock and You know, it basically, they slowly dehydrate and you torture them over time, but it's safe for other animals. So whatever. They're eating that shit like it's fucking Taco Tuesday out there. And I swear to God, it's the same 7 mice who are just now partying in my kitchen. Like oh shit, he put the buffet out. Yeah, we get a little gas, but fuck it, it's warm. And it's, you know, I've become the gas station for mice. I am gas station sushi for the mice. They are literally like eating it and regretting it later, but coming back for more because it's free and cheap. So I've decided to go back to real poison. You know, the shit that kills a mouse when it eats it and it dies. Well, this motherfucker just came out here with a chunk of it in his paw when he jumped up. And I'm like, I don't know what kind of super mice that I have in my fucking house, but apparently COVID and poison doesn't stop them. So I think I'm going to have to move out and find a new place to live and just give them the shit that's here and be like, fuck it. Y'all, Ratatouille, y'all own it. I don't care. Like, they got a gang. Like, it's crazy. So I literally just threw a sock at one and it didn't even fucking move. It just looked at me and then sauntered away. Like, that's what I thought. You ain't getting up. Yeah, fatty. Like, you ain't chasing me. And just walked the fuck off. I was like, holy shit. While I'm in the middle of the show, I just had a mouse just challenge me and I couldn't do a damn thing about it. Because the way my studio, because my house is so small, is set up, I'm literally pinned into a corner like I'm a veal calf stuck in a cage. Like I literally, like I can't get out. If I have to shit or piss right now, it's happening live. Like it's there you go, OnlyFans. It's happening right now. I can't get out of the corner I've created, so that I could be able to be here with you guys. So yeah, that's been fun. I'm going to tell one quick story before I get out of here about something weird that happened to me this week. I was with a lady friend, and this is just to prove to you, men, learn, even if you can't do it, stand up for your woman, whoever it is in a situation, and here's why. So I was out with a lady friend. I don't know if she wants her name said or whatever, but we were at the grocery store. I was dressed up, had my leather trench coat on, whatever. She got a phone call about one of her kids, and she was a little upset. So she was holding my hand, and we were sitting outside the car, and she had grabbed my hand, and she was just nervous talking, and I was rubbing her hand, right? And I literally just kind of like, rubbing her hand like this, massaging her hand while she was on the phone. And then we had to go. So I opened the door for her like a gentleman and let her in the car, and then close the door. And this girl runs up with her boyfriend who looked like, do you remember the Numa Nay video from a long time ago? That fat, pudgy kid who was doing the Numa Nay? Looked like this kid had been in a lot of basements with Dungeons and Dragons and nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And Mountain Dew and Cheetos and sadness. And he was just shocked that he had a girl that would have sex with him. So he's standing there. I don't think he had a muscle. I think he was made of fluff and sadness, just peanut butter, fluff, and sadness. And so she runs up, and she's tiny, and she goes right in my face, goes, "Excuse me, sir, is everything okay?" I said, "Yeah, why?" She goes, "Well, I just saw you holding her hand and then force her into a car. Is she safe? Is this safe?" First of all, asking me that question if she wasn't safe isn't really helping. Now, like I'm going to be like, "Oh yeah, she's dead in a week." Like I don't, like what am I going to say? So I was like, "No, she's fine." She was upset on the phone, and this girl has her phone out and has dialed 911. Like she has the last one ready to go. Like it's a red button. She's like holding it. And she's like, "Well, and the boyfriend doesn't know what to do. I'm being polite, but he has sized up the situation. Now, if I was truly abusive to a woman, that means I'll hit any motherfucker in front of me. And he's worried because he now has to stand up for the girlfriend who's now in my face, and realizing that if I touch her, he has to show and prove. And knowing that he's going to get mauled like a bear eating a salmon, he doesn't know what to do. So his eyes have frozen, and he's just staring at me. And I'm looking at him, and I know exactly what's going through his head. In the back of his head, he's like, "Oh, please shut up. Please shut up. Please don't let him be abusive. Please, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. But I also can't let her, do this alone." So finally I said, "Would you like to talk to my girlfriend so that she can explain to you what's going on? And then you guys will be fine. No problem." I walked away. And the girl was very sweet and was like, yes, it's fine. I was on the phone. I was upset, and he was holding my hand, and he opened the door for me because that's what gentlemen do. And she's like, "Well, it looked like he forced you in the car." And she kept going. finally she told her everything was fine. She was like, okay, I just wanted to make sure. And I swear to God, this kid looked like he pissed his pants, this dude. And then he finally was like, oh, see, I told you it's fine. Let's go. And like quickly grabbed her and scuttled off, like waddled like Danny DeVito in the Penguin outfit from Batman, like ran away at top speed down the street. And I pulled up next to them and I said, I said to the girl, I said, I want to commend you. You stood up, you saw something you thought was weird. You stood up. Good for you. I'm proud of you. And I looked at him and I just went, and he ran like 8 steps back. And I was like, that's your first problem. And then we drove off. So that was my weekend review. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. I love having all the VCO crew back together. Thank you, Kyle and Colin, for having us on.
Thank you guys for being here. A little too delicious for the crowd. Woo.
Delicious.
Good to bring the gang back together.
Absolutely.
So Hickory took his notes with him, so we're free balling. It'll be fun. I wanted to ask you guys about what your opinions were about the current state of stand-up and see what you thought about that. I know that some shows are starting to happen. Woolen Mills hosted one. I've heard rumors of up in Burlington shows starting to come together. I know that New York is way out. And Pierre, not to put you on the spot, when's the first time we see a marquee show?
That is a good question. And the answer to that is sometime in June, probably. The main problem with the movie theaters, is they're not putting out new Hollywood content, or they're putting out very little, and it's such garbage that it's not worth it for the marquee to be open. Currently, it costs more to be open than it is to be closed and run everything at skeleton crew. And because of all the current restrictions, that people who don't know the marquee theater, it's a very small space. There is no way. We actually measured one day, the owner and I, in the bar. There is no way to have people 6 feet apart in any actual point in that space. Like if you have more than 2 people together, you can't have them. So we would be allowed to have 3 people, or 4 people, and that's not including us. So then technically we're over capacity at that point, with the spatial arrangements and all that. So it's going to be a while for them. And I know he's bummed, but he has no recourse. Like what's he going to do? He's going to play, the 3 shitty movies that have come out, and hopefully he gets 9 people, for that giant
with
space.
Grandpa, I hear, is really good.
Yeah. Have you seen Dunkirk? Has anyone seen Dunkirk? We'll just replay that.
Yeah, right. Kevin, have you seen that yet?
Not yet.
It's so good.
Week.
It's so good.
Every fucking week. I have still yet to see that movie because of you two fuckers.
It really is good. It really is.
So inside joke though for the rest of the people, Ryan, at the Marquee Theater, they had a Dunkirk poster up for, I don't know, 6 months it felt like. They had played it and it just was still up somewhere. And every time Ryan and Kevin or any of us would be together in the theater, we'd ask people, have you seen Dunkirk? They weren't even playing fucking Dunkirk anymore. It wasn't even there anymore. Poor GW got the brunt of it.
We still ask that question, and it's been 3 years.
Yeah, it's such a good movie. It's worth checking out if you guys haven't seen it.
I've heard that movie theaters that are open in places where they're a little more lenient are playing old movies, and I figured I'd ask you guys, if you could go to a theater right now and see any movie, what would the movie you'd want to see? And Kevin, that look on your face, we're gonna go with you first.
I don't think I want to go to the movies right now.
No, but in a dream world where you're the only one there, or you're in a bubble, but you get to see any movie on the big screen, what would you want to see?
That hasn't come out yet, or
no, like a movie from the past.
I'm complicating this on purpose.
Simple question, damn it.
Is it a simple question? Is it? I don't know if it is.
Apparently not for Kevin.
I really want to see that Tenet movie. The movie that Christopher Nolan did after Dunkirk.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I want to see that.
You just looped in Dunkirk on a movie you want to see.
Damn right. Dunkirk's a good movie. I'm sure Kenyon will be better.
Colin, what about you as our resident movie aficionado?
I mean, I would love to see all the Godfathers on the big screen. I would love to see all of the Bonds on the big screen. I saw the Daniel Craig Bonds on the big screen. Those were fantastic. Right now, a lot of people don't know this, but this is actually kind of crazy. The IMAX theater in Vermont and Essex is the one I went to this past weekend. They're actually doing the screenings of The Shining.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's a
on
good one.
the big screen, and as well as Nightmare Before Christmas,
Oh,
Nice.
which I saw. They did a 3D, Real D 3D re-release of that, and I saw that on the big screen, Nightmare Before Christmas, and that was like unbelievable. And I think that movie probably it's a cinematic masterpiece as far as like the time. It took them some ridiculous thing like 8 years to do the animation for it or something like that. But so all of those, and you can see that on the big screen right now in Essex, and that's a 500-person theater, so it's really well spaced. And I showed up there this past weekend, and the guy like said to me, "I'm like trying to buy a ticket," and in my head, I'm like, "Movie theater's open. It's gonna be like whatever seats are available are gonna be sold, And I saw Honest Thief, and I showed up to buy the ticket. I'm like, "Can I buy the ticket to like Honest Thief?" And the guy's like, "There's no one." He's like, "You'll probably be the only person in there." I'm like, "I'm going to be the only person in an IMAX theater." Are you serious right now? And then he said to me before I bought my ticket, he goes, "Are you here for takeout?" So a lot of people are actually getting big, apparently, soda fountain drinks and popcorn and taking them and going home and watching a movie. But I would say in a theater like that, I mean, as long as you're not really touching much too once you're in there. You know what I mean? You go in, you clean your hands, you hold your popcorn, you sit down, don't touch shit.
Yeah, but plenty of other things have touched those seats that you were touching. So that would be my.
The irony that movie theaters were grosser before COVID-19.
Yeah, for real.
Was the floor still sticky, Colin?
When I got up, I told the guy, I'm like, "I want the best seat in the house." Which don't do that, because the best seat in the house is the house everybody's sitting in. You know what I mean? Like go in there and ask for like some obtuse, weird seat. Like I want 13J on the aisle or something stupid. and I tried to get a seat that no one else has used, but it was he gave me the best seat in the house. And the guy's like, "You're front and center." Like that's dead center in the theater. I'm like, "All right, perfect." Not thinking that the asshole who came in here before me did the exact same thing. and so as I'm getting up, there's literally a Kit Kat wrapper like underneath my seat. And I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me, guys. We gotta do better than this." I mean, like, you got a chocolate bar on my seat over here. Like, let's up the protocol a little bit. Run a mop around here, some bleach or something.
G-Dubs, what would be the one movie you'd want to see, my friend?
The one movie that I could watch over and over again, besides Transformers, not the Michael Bay Transformers, but like the old 1986 cartoon.
Yeah.
That would be awesome to watch. But like,
Right.
It's October. I want to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Good call.
Mm-hmm. And with people, like there's no point in watching it by yourself. So
it's a sad existence when you call out when there's no one else to do it with you.
Right.
I've tried it before and it just doesn't work well.
Pierre, one movie you'd see in the theater?
Oh, hands down. Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bolorama. Yep. Yeah, if you haven't seen that masterpiece, I would love to see that on the big screen. I've watched it on small screens enough. That little pimp genie green goblin thing in the movie, I want to see that huge on the screen with their horrible version of a black man's voice that sounded like they found like an intern and just said, "Hey, you ever heard stereotypical black voices? Do that and just read these lines," because that's what it sounds like. That's not even a joke. I want to watch that on a giant screen. If you have never seen Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bolorama, please look it up. You can find it on Amazon Prime Video right now. They have it. Check it out.
And Ryan.
Oh, geez. No question. I'd want to see Alvin and the Chipmunk Chipwrecked.
Okay.
I like how Ryan and I went with the
Wonderful
most
answer
obscure
from
answer.
Yeah. We moved the B movies, the cult classics.
Yes.
I would, and this isn't funny, but to be honest, right now, this time of year, I would go, I don't want to watch Freddy vs. Jason. And
Oh, yeah.
I only say that because it was the first movie, and this is funny. Whenever it came out, back when I was like 15 or 16 or whatever, it was the first movie I was ever in where an entire audience stood up after the final fight scene and all just started clapping and hooting and hollering.
Oh.
And it was like one of those moments where I want to go recreate that by myself.
At like the second time I masturbated.
Yeah.
Stood up and gave myself a round of applause. I think I got a hand job during that movie live, but in a movie theater. But because I don't remember the middle of it, but all right.
Next question I'll bring up with Kevin mentioned earlier, face masks, and people should keep them on after the pandemic. And I have found personally that I think face masks make the average person far more attractive. And I wanted to see what you guys thought. This time we'll go in reverse. Ryan, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Keep them on. What's that?
Do you think face masks improve the aesthetics of the average person, or do they?
Oh, absolutely. And they're keeping people safe. And I think that we should wear them. I think whole masks. I think like lucha libre masks. I think we gotta,
Yes.
or maybe like with those fencing masks. Whatever.
Or gimp masks. Do the full black leather zippers
right.
in the mouths. Yeah.
Exactly. Or like whatever they wear on the Masked Singer. Who's
Oh,
that pineapple?
Pierre, what do you think?
Yeah, I like them, but it's almost like the old joke of like when women pad their bra, it's false advertising. Because now people are doing a lot of work on their eyes, like making, and even dudes are grooming like right on this band, and then you take it off and it's like woolly mammoth like shit happening under, but they're doing a really good job at shaving the line of the mask line. And then when you pull it off, it's like, weird. And women are wearing like amazing mascara and eyeliner. And down here, it's just chiclets and sadness and facial hair and warts. So I think but it also is good because it just keeps us all working on at least a half of us. You don't look all erect. You have to have at least a part of you looking right.
GW, what do you think? Masks more attractive, less attractive?
You know what I think? I feel bad for like the chicks that are like above decent looking but have a lazy eye. I feel bad for those.
That's right.
Because like the one thing that they have going for them is covered, and then you have just like droopy dog over to the side, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's going on with you? You're a train wreck." Unless you like train wrecks, and then, hey, like, yeah. So, sort of keep the masks is what I'm trying to say.
Colin, what are you thinking?
I just first off would like to just state the fact that let's just rewind the clocks 12 months, okay? And here comes Collen Doyle walking into a bank. Okay. Like this, all right, in Midtown Manhattan. How long before they fucking shoot me? They're like, the guy never even got a chance to open a checking account. Don't worry, sure. He never stood a chance. So I just think it's insane that we're still like banking with masks on and stuff like that. Like that to me is just, it's wild. And the fact that it's not even like wear a medical mask. It's like any mask you can come up with. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It's unreal.
You
Wear
find
garbage
the
bags.
mask. If you want gas mask, if you want, whatever you need, you do you. I mean, I've seen people, I saw one guy with a mask on and a shield over his face. And I'm sitting there, and I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I'm like, COVID didn't stand a fucking chance with this guy. I mean, you got to get through 3 masks, one of which is a plexiglass shield in front of his head. You know what I mean? But I think for the most part, if it's a good mask, I think it's probably going to make most people more attractive. But I feel bad for all these people in this country. I like dental work right now, and now it's like the concept of having good teeth. Man, it's not serving you anywhere, is it? You know?
That's right.
Glad you had all that dental work. Now put a mask over your mouth. But I think for the most part, like people probably look better because to Pierre's point, you know, they're doing the eye makeup, they're doing that and everything. But then occasionally someone takes a mask off and you're like, you're actually a more attractive person. But right now it's really hard to not even know what people look like because their whole face is covered in a mask.
So we come to you, Kevin, but I'll first ask you this question. Do you find people attractive? We'll start there.
Wow, I was hurt by that question. Of course I do.
Okay. So now
There's no one in this Zoom comedy show.
I
Right?
just want to make it clear with the viewers.
There's nobody here.
Hey, we got like a whole 10 going right now live.
Woo! Hey, 10
Ooh.
people.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching, everybody.
Right. One thing I like about the mask thing is I've had this happen a few times where I'll be out in public and someone will like wave to me, and I'll be like, "Are you waving at me? Really? Who the hell are you?" Like I can't tell who they are with the mask on, which is great. You know. Then they tell me who they are. I'm like, "Oh, good. I never have to acknowledge anyone in public ever again because I don't know who the hell they are." Great. Don't have to have that stupid, useless conversation about someone that you haven't seen in 5 years and you still haven't seen them because you're both wearing masks. So yeah, let's keep the mask on for good now, because I mean, COVID's never going away, so we might as fucking well.
I'm glad you're such an optimist, my friend.
Hey, I am an optimist.
My issue with masks is they've really ruined my nurse fetish. And the same thing happened about 5 years ago when scrubs started getting worn by every housekeeper.
Oh yeah.
I used to find scrubs hot as hell until it was because they were like a status symbol a little bit, you know, like you know if somebody was wearing scrubs, they worked in the medical field, so they were at least, you know, halfway there. And now it's like every junkie who's ever cleaned a toilet in a hotel is wearing scrubs. And same with masks, it's just kind of ruining it for me. It's like every single person's wearing one. It no longer has that symbol of like, yeah, I'd let her check me out.
That's so weird because I totally have a thing for house cleaners and for people in masks. So like them wearing scrubs, I was just like, hey, all right, easier access.
Well, scrubs are just so comfy.
I don't know, like I look like the doctor from Escape from LA when I'm wearing scrubs. I know that's an obscure pull for everybody.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
I like the idea of GW like laying ill on a couch and with a woman next to him in scrubs, and you're like, I'm so glad that he's getting the medical attention that he that's his house cleaner. Like,
I like the fact that we're at the point where that would be the guessing game. Is it his house cleaner or his personal aide? Like,
I mean, they're both going to clean up shit for me, so.
It's a twofer.
Yeah.
We're getting close to the end, but the last one I had to go around was we were going to take a poll on how many of us are pantsless. That seems to be a reoccurring theme during Hickory show, that we have at least a 2-to-2, a 50% ratio. So I figured I'd go ahead and ask around the poll, who's wearing pants?
I'm wearing pants.
G-Dubs, is that cold down there?
No, I had to go get dinner for my family right
Oh,
before
okay.
the show. That's why I was running. Like, for everyone who doesn't know, I will say I was running late for today's programming, and I missed some of the pre-show meeting because I was off getting dinner for my family. And then I was like, oh shit, I need to sign on right now. And so I didn't get a chance to take my pants off.
I had pants on and then took them off right before the show started. So I am pantsless currently.
I'll do it now. Like,
yeah, we'll make this a show. Let's full Monty this shit. Come on, everybody.
there.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now I got to check and make sure our stream didn't
I'm
get pulled.
sorry, G-Dubs, are your underwear tiger print right?
Please tell me they are.
No,
Please
they're-
don't. Are you wearing Joe Exotic Tiger underwear?
Joe Exotic
my milky
boxer.
thighs.
It's like, there, everyone wants to see my underwear. I'm wearing my tiger G-string. Okay,
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Everyone gets my phone.
You know that's gonna be screenshotted by somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, you've just made an OnlyFans page, ironically. Like,
Yeah.
someone's going to use that as part of theirs. see big men with their underwear.
G-Dubs, you want to see the real Tiger King.
I still really believe we should start a VCO OnlyFans page that has no nudity. It is just us like drinking beer and eating weird shit and watching cartoons. Like
Gardening.
Yeah, like just whatever we do on our day to day, we just film a few minutes of it and put it up for OnlyFans. There's Kevin knitting.
Yeah.
Like, no, just Kevin knitting, and there's Ryan throwing things at children.
Yeah. I'm in the
No,
garden.
never.
Look at my big peony.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what?
Boy.
I would actually pay to see Ryan do again, and I've only seen him do this once, but it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Is him doing his impersonation of the penguin.
Oh my god. I don't have any chocolate sauce with me, but yeah, I could do that. I could do that sometime. I'll send you a video.
Yeah. I'm telling you, VCO OnlyFans will all
right.
make money doing stupid shit with no nudity. Shirts and pants optional. We'll just put that. You never know. You could get one issue of all of us just
Yeah,
shirtless. A lot of hair and nipples and sadness and laughter.
Mostly sadness.
Mostly sadness.
I don't think it would be a bad idea to try to bring in the baseball advertisements to the program too, And and these pantless moments brought to you in part by Long Trail, your official beer from Bridgewater. Back to the program.
Yeah, I'm always looking for sponsors. I'll pimp anything on a show I'm on. So you guys get sponsors and I'm on. I'll find some Budweiser boxers and wear them and stand up, or Long Trail or whatever. I don't give a damn. I am a whore for the dollar. Especially COVID. COVID's made me even more whorish for the dollar than I used to be when all my businesses shut down. I was like, I guess I'm showing ass for money. I mean, I made a calendar, for Christ's sake. So,
Which was a wonderful calendar, by the way.
thank you. It's still on sale. I'm going to make a new version of it for the coming year as well. So livethelifeofpierre.com. Check it out. Buy my calendar.
I remember the one episode you put pictures up on the green screen in the background. We got two copyright strikes that episode.
Really? From my own picture?
Which is still a proud moment because obviously Pierre looked like somebody important.
It's the first time that's ever happened to me.
I think it was just they didn't want to see any single man with that much toilet paper around him. Like it was,
Something has to be illegal here.
They're breaking laws somewhere.
well, people are wiping with owls and leaves. This one man.
This one fat guy has hoarded all the toilet paper and paper towels.
One very suggestive paper towel roll.
And just covering them on himself. Like that's how paper towel rich I was and toilet paper rich I was. I had enough I could just cover my fat body with it and just be like, fighting in the stores. Look at me rolling around in my sweatiness all over all this. I'm just going to throw it all out.
I'm gonna make it rain.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to reenact the Yeti from WCW. I'm going to wrap myself in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad we got at least 2 good wrestling references in this evening
Right.
on the VCO takeover.
Yes.
That's about it. Unless any of you guys want anything that you got to get off your chest.
Yeah, I got something.
Please.
All right.
Ryan, did you shave your head?
No.
Oh.
I didn't. No.
Okay. 'Cause,
Not yet. Not...
the way that the hat is for like sitting.
Yeah, I noticed that. It
I
does kind of look like.
I was like, are you trying to pull a Pierre?
Yeah, I just get the
That's gimmick infringement.
got the shaved head. Nope.
I just wanted to say real quick, I want to thank Colin for looking like he is in a space where a hostage situation would be happening. Like the way the camera is in the background, it looks like either there's a casting couch behind him or there's a kidnapping happening, and I'm not sure which one it is. It's so stark with just the chair behind him. I
Send
noticed
a bag
that right
of
on.
unmarked bills.
I appreciate you guys letting me Skype in here. All right, quiet down in the back. All right. Anyhow,
That's a real reason why I took my pants off. I'm in the next room for the casting couch.
Oh, that's you're doing his OnlyFans page. Now I see how it is. He's pimped you out.
I would like to thank Ryan for your Steven Seagal wet dream. That was just really
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
God, she did. She did. She stole money from him and then bought a Steven Seagal DVD. And I'm like, well, that's happy birthday. He's gonna love it. Well, we're not gonna be alive to hand over the gift, but cool.
Steven Seagal is actually an officer, and
Yeah.
I think it's like somewhere.
Not anymore.
No.
He killed a guy.
Oh, there you go. You know,
True story. He ran over a kid riding a bike. And they like you do when you're Steven Seagal.
I thought he was gonna like shot a guy in the like some crazy thing. No, he just killed a kid on a tricycle.
He
He
literally
was off
turned a
duty
corner.
too.
Yeah. It was on a weekend when he was going to a Mark for Death marathon. They were showing it at a Cineplex. And he just hit some kid, and then he just looked at him and said, "Well, now you're marked for death." And he just kept rolling.
He was adjusting his ponytail as he was trying to back out of the driveway.
Yeah.
He was trying to figure out how to fit into his gi from 30 years ago with all the fat that's there now. He was like driving and trying to tighten the belt so it didn't look so awful. And then he just hit a kid on a bike. Yeah.
Kevin, you got anything you need to get off your chest before we do some plugs and get on out of here?
I feel good. I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're sure?
Yeah, I got everything off my chest earlier.
Okay.
Go watch the replay on YouTube.
Speaking of getting it off your chest, goddamn, we're starting the OnlyFans early.
I just want to pet it. I just want to.
I tell everyone I look like a Yeti with mange. That's what I'm going for. Just hairy enough to be awkward. I like that. That's not what's showing on the screen. All you're getting is the reactions of everyone else on Zoom. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Stay quiet.
I never wanted to be on a bearskin rug more than my life and right now.
Like an underfed mangy bear.
One from the Russian circus.
It's the bear from the Revenant.
No. Yeah.
Colin, anything you need to get out before we plug and head?
Basically, thank you guys for all being here. It's great to have the VCO crew in the house. And it's looking like we're going to try to do something at the Woolen Mill Halloween night. So stay tuned on Facebook to find out more details about that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
G-Dubs, plugs?
Find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Parler at Foley Kills, and Facebook at GW Foley.
Pierre, sir.
Find me on Facebook at Pierre the Beast Vachon or Pierre the Beast. You can find me on Instagram at Pierre the Beast or Pierre the Beast Vachon. I don't remember. Look it up either way. Also, check out my website, livethelifeofpierre.com. That's where my calendar is for sale, and I'm going to have a whole bunch of other stuff up there. And check out Big Guys Entertainment. We have a Twitch. We have Big Guys Gaming. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on. We have our weekly podcast, Big Guys Banter. Check that out as well.
And in case our audience are searching for that OnlyFans, is it going to be under your name or under VCO?
I ain't even joking, man. I might create a Vermont Comedy Outlaws OnlyFans, and y'all want to put content up with me. I will do it, and we'll all split the money. I am seriously thinking about doing something stupid like that, and just us all put random content up and see what happens.
That'd be wonderful. It can't be worse than half the shit that's already up there.
No, I know. I've screened through it and just went, oh God, whole lot of desperate housewives and dudes who would never get laid in a club, but they're making $800 a month doing this. So I figure we got some shot.
Yeah.
Ryan, plugs.
Instagram, old Ryan Kenyon. TikTok, Ryan Kenyon. OnlyFans, Ryan Kenyon. And go see Dunkirk. It's a great movie.
Dunkirk.
And that's what we call a callback in the comedy industry. Mr. McTaggart.
Let's see. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at McTaggart Attack. McTaggart Attack podcast out Monday through Friday, wherever the hell you listen to podcasts. And every Wednesday is a video edition of What's Pissing You Off Wednesday on YouTube.
I gotta say, you have been organically coming up on my wife's TikTok regularly. So keep up the good work there, sir.
Thank you.
I laugh pretty hard every time I hear your voice randomly in between like dance numbers, and yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Keep up the great work. I would follow you
Thanks.
myself, but it's like crack, and I can't get into that. It's
Yeah, I just watched The Social Dilemma, and I don't know if I want to have a social media anymore.
That's the dilemma, huh?
That's what. Yeah.
They're like, here's your dilemma. Do you want to be part of the modern world or you don't? Here it is.
And you can't find me anywhere because I'm Kyle Hickory, but you can find Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube's at Hickory TDAU. You can also find him at on Parler, which he's starting to comment on and talk shit because that app is really, really fun. And coming soon will be the official Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming website, which is in the works. And I share it now, but it looks like shit. So we're going to wait until it looks a little bit better. I want to thank all you guys for being here. It was fucking delicious to have all you boys on.
Yes,
delicious.
I'm glad that we can do this.
Delicious.
I can't wait until we can all like be together in a room.
Yes.
Doing this on a stage with people laughing and interaction. And also thanks to everybody that came out tonight. We were up to 10 live at one point, and that's pretty decent. Thanks to Arnold and Jessica and Peter. We had some comments. Thank you to Dolores for coming out and watching the show. So big thanks to everybody out there. And what the fuck does Hickory usually say? I think he says, please everybody stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Most importantly, remember to stay fucking sane. And then he doesn't know how to find the end thing. Well, I've never done this. Hickory does it.